evening, folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater. Tonight's installment, A Talking Cat. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts, Blake and John.
Hello.
I'm a talking cat.
That's basically how this movie went.
Who wants to say it?
Let's get this shit show on the road.
Jesus Christ. How many of these fucking movies are we going to be subjected to?
I don't know.
See, I already know what's going to fucking happen. I already know. My carefully crafted pick is going to go away, and here we go watching The Talking Pony.
No, unless Godfrey Ho made the Talking Pony movie. It's like he's restricted to his weapon type. So,
yeah.
But still, my God.
I don't have a David Dick Toe weapon, fortunately.
Ay. Did YouTube Kids do the soundtrack to this movie?
Don't get me started.
In the credits, it was like a music stockhouse credited for the music. Oh, God. Yeah, the music was up there in terms of the worst parts of the movie.
And it was mixed at like the same level as the dialogue, if not louder than the dialogue at times.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is going to be... The end of this episode is when I will officially stop giving a shit about the score, because I was fully prepared to take notes, but after 2 minutes of the opening and then when opening credits started, I just threw my hands up and I said, fuck it.
I didn't get much, so there's a good chance this is going to be a double goose egg episode again.
I was like, I'm not even fucking worried about it. I
mean, I hope not. It was tough finding questions in here because there was nothing like specific about anything. So yeah, I think I have 6 questions.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's just get into it because
yeah.
All right, so...
Well, okay. First of all, like, this movie is for no one.
You got that
right. Like, obviously adults are going to hate it, but, like, a child would find it, like, incredibly boring.
Yeah.
And a teenager, who I think maybe is the target audience, would, like, roll their eyes so hard they would need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Ugh.
It's terrible. It's terrible. An 80-year-old Chinese woman couldn't have helped fix this movie.
Not even the boundless imagination of an 80-year-old Chinese woman could have helped this thing.
Ay. And it like... I don't even know how to put it into words. It just happens. The movie just happens. There's no rhyme or reason. I mean, I don't know why I expected there to be any, like, kind of coherent structure behind it, but...
How do people get away with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this has to be another tax scheme or something. Like, somebody made money illegally this way.
So this is the second movie with Eric Roberts in it that has shady dealings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe Eric Roberts is kind of like he's like a money laundering tool of some kind. Like, he's like, no, it's a real ass movie. It's got Eric Roberts.
Either that or he has the shittiest agent in Hollywood.
Himself, blackout drunk.
I would like to apply for that job because, dude, I could do a way better job than whatever this ass clown's doing.
My God. Oh, yeah. Let's dive in. So we open to some jazzy shots of the wooded mountains and waterfalls and scenic landscapes before Eric Roberts starts literally phoning it in as the voice of this dumbass cat. The audio's blown out. It's echoey.
It sounds like he's on a phone.
It sounds like he recorded this in the cabinets underneath the kitchen sink. That was his sound.
Yeah, I mean, what the director said, he recorded it in his living room, which, must have been cavernous.
Yeah, over a Walmart Paw Patrol walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
I mean, I could picture him just in his underwear, just splayed out in the middle of the floor with the phone just on the floor next to his head as he just said the lines at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
One take.
And all the lines are just delivered flat.
Mhm.
There was nothing to them. It was
Eric Roberts.
And it was also literally the first time he'd even read them. So,
oh yeah, that was just him reading it one time. That's it. Fuck you, pay me.
My man, he's a professional.
Yeah.
Just knocked it out. Perfect. First time. Every line.
Like I said, he Bill Murray'd it. He said, "Didn't Bill Murray do a talking cat movie? I'm going to do it the same way he did it. Give me that check for $26." So he talks about how much he likes the outdoors as well as the indoors, but he appreciates the simple things. Don't preach to me, Eric Roberts. You're voicing a fucking cat.
Yeah.
The movie then goes on an acid trip as the opening credits roll.
Yeah.
All the filters. Go, go, go. Indiana Jones font. Do it.
Yeah, it was every available filter went on this footage.
The credits spew at you one letter at a time. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, and the credits run for the entire length of the movie.
Yeah.
It takes that long to get through the fucking thing.
They credit the actor, I guess, that played the cat. It's like special appearance by Squeaky.
Yeah.
Squeaky the cat.
I'm like, the animals never get credited in these openings. In any, like, even when the animal is like the star of the movie, not even in like Homeward Bound did the animals get like credited. I didn't try to find out or anything, but I bet if you have to wait till the end credits of Benji to find out the name of that actor.
Yep.
That brought the character of Benji to life. So why does Squeaky
top billing?
What was Squeaky doing here?
Okay, the dog who played Benji is an actor, without a doubt. The cat who played what's his name again? Duffy. It's
not just a cat.
No.
There's several points in the movie where you can clearly see the laser pointer dot that they're using to get the cat to do things.
Yes. Other times you can see the treats on the ground so he can stay in one spot.
They just litter the ground around him with treats.
The scene where Phil gives him the saucer of milk, the cat wouldn't drink the milk, so there's chunks of treats floating around in the fucking milk.
This cat is the Eric Roberts of animal actors.
Unless this is actually Eric Roberts' cat, and he demanded he have top billing.
Squeaky gets in the picture.
That's why it's a different cat from the poster.
Oh, shit. We haven't even gotten into the movie yet.
So a man strolls into the entryway of his lavishly appointed home, complete with spiral staircase, chunks of driftwood adorned with red stiletto heels.
A fucking tree wearing like patent leather fuck me boots.
There's a piece of wood with hooker shoes on in his living room.
This is also the nicest filthy house I've ever seen. Like every painted surface is scratched up and dinged and dented.
They found this house.
And when they have the cat like walking through doors, it's like you could have swept up. It's fucking filthy.
There's like cobwebs everywhere. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, I guess this house's life is a porno house. So.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Many a dream has been broken in this house.
So he walks into the next room where his son is reading on the couch. He honks and beeps and throws himself on his half VW bug chair, to which his son rolls his eyes at, "Dad, why do you always do that? Act like a total jackass when you enter a room." He announces that he's sold his company, the website, the interface, the code, all the other tech buzzwords that we can think of. Mm-hmm. It's all gone. And now he's got enough money to retire. His son questions, "Didn't you already have enough money to retire, Dad?" "Well, I did some, but I blew it all on all this flotsam and jetsam erotica."
Blew it all on that sexy tree stump over there.
So he desperately tries to connect with his son, but it's of no use. They're just too different.
I don't understand this. Like, they kind of set up this thing where they don't get along, but, it doesn't pay off in any way. The cat doesn't fix their relationship. Their relationship
cat doesn't
just
do
gets,
shit.
Magically better.
Yeah. Okay, not to jump ahead or just sum up the whole plot of the movie in one sentence or anything, but the gist of the movie is that this cat's going to enter all these troubled people's lives, and he's gonna use his wily cat magic to interweave them together to make them all happy. And the things that he tells them to do are so vague and just... He basically says, "Hey, walk over in that room."
Yeah.
And that's the length of his of his scheme. Ay. So, meanwhile in his room, Chris gets a call from a girl from school asking about she needs to get her English grade up. She's looking for a tutor, and he's just no good at talking to girls, and it's awful. This is awful. This movie is awful. These people are awful. Life is awful.
Yes.
She also never identifies herself on the phone call.
Just some girl. That's all he needs to know.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's a girl. I can't talk to them.
I knew I should have practiced on the wood in the living room.
So he sees the cat wander through the house and goes after it. He can't find it, but decides to ask his dad about, what do you do when you like a girl? I can already say that this is not the guy to answer this question.
No. I'll tell you what to do. You buy that bitch some flowers. Bitches love flowers.
So, before he can answer, the cat wanders out the door. Oh, did I just see a cat? Yeah, me too. Weird, right? Seeing cats and whatnot?
Not really. Cats are pretty normal.
Anyway, let's get some pizza. Cut to Tina's house. Tina's mom storms around frantic because she can't find her shoes, and she's got to start setting up the Sims' cocktail party, and they do not want to see her disgusting toes.
Fucking corny toes.
Before Tina could even say anything, her mom cuts her off. "No, you're not going to college.
Yeah. Bitch.
You're too goddamn smart. You're not going to college."
Yeah, I didn't get that part. You're too smart. You're not going to college.
You're too smart for your own good.
Mom likes saying contradicting statements. She does it a couple more times later on.
Whenever they were looking for her shoes and they said they're on a front porch, was anybody else hoping that Bigfoot had shit in her shoes?
I was hoping so badly. That these are in the same universe.
Could have only hoped.
Go back and listen to the Field Freak episode, folks.
Yep.
Yeah, hey Mom, aren't those your shoes covered in Bigfoot shit?
So her brother comes in, agreeing with Mom. "Yeah, why don't you shut up and quit trying to improve your life, you dumb girl?"
You're not going to school, you idiot.
So the cat passes by Tina's house too, and everyone's like, "Hey, a cat? That's crazy!"
Trent asks, "I wonder what it wanted." Like it's trying to get you to join its like weird cat religion or something.
It's got some pamphlets to hand out.
Can I talk to you a little bit about Catholicism?
Oh God, what does it want? Pretend to not be home.
Oh, Catholicism.
So Duffy the cat just won't shut the hell up about goddamn magic and the fact that he's a human whisperer and his purpose is to connect people that are too stupid to live or some shit.
So there's so much stuff in here, like the tiny details where like the cat's wearing this collar with a tag on it.
That says Duffy.
For some reason, so they've got the fake tag that's got his Duffy name on it, but there's also a real tag that they just put a big piece of black gaffer tape over.
Yep.
You couldn't just put on a different collar?
What happens if the cat got lost?
Because this cat is not a professional. There's a high flight risk with this cat. We gotta make sure that we keep the real tag on there, because this cat could up and disappear at any moment, and the production will come crashing down.
They can just drop another cat in there. They do not care.
It just changes to a Siamese cat halfway through the movie.
Yeah, just sure. It doesn't even matter. Just different cats.
It's a dog in one scene.
A little kitten that can barely walk.
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts with a little
actual Eric Roberts in there.
Cat face paint on him.
Some like cat ears headband on.
Yeah.
That would have been a better movie.
I would love that.
If we were just supposed to buy the fact that everyone sees Eric Roberts as a cat.
Hey, I'm a fucking cat now.
So the next day or something, who the hell knows? Back at Chris's house, the smoke alarm's going off. Chris runs downstairs in hysterics while Dad fans the smoke that he made, ruining the waffle iron. And how many times are we going to do this? Oh, geez, Dad, you're such a character shtick between these two. Chris tells Dad that Franny is coming over. Franny is her name.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the names to pick.
How did these two men survive up to this point? Like, they can't do anything themselves. This man can't cook.
Later we find out that the mom abandoned them.
I can see why.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God, I gotta get a do-over. This just isn't working. This kid, this guy, no. I'm just gonna pretend this never happened.
On to the next one. Why do you think, I want to talk about Phil's, like, hair situation.
Yes, please, can we?
Yeah, like, why do you think his hair is like this? Do you think the actor wears it this way? Or did they do this to him for the movie?
What I think they wanted to do was, obviously the soul patch was to show that he knows how to work, like, the computer. And I thought the hair was like, well, he's retired now. He's living his life. He's playing the field now.
Oh yeah, he's living that Margaritaville lifestyle.
Yeah. So he's got, for the audience, he's got this like bleached out. How would you describe this thing?
I would call
like
it
long in the front, balding in the back.
I'd call it the poor man's Trump haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the soul patch on there.
And the soul patch.
That was a weird soul patch too. It was really long.
It was like two different colors.
Like, it was really long. Like, it didn't go past his chin or anything, but it seemed like it all just came from right where his lip turns from red to skin. And it was just that one single line of hair, and they were just all long enough to cover everything.
It's like he got plugs for a soul patch.
Probably what happened.
See, because, like, okay, so this guy was a child actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of his work, all of his recognizable work is from when he was a kid. So I was wondering if he's, like, doing that weird thing where, like, he's trying to still kind of look like a kid.
Oh, really? Tell us some of his recognizable work, please.
Well, I mentioned some of them in the last one.
Did
but
you?
Like,
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at his IMDb.
It was so recognizable.
Because I was trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris tells Dad that Franny's coming over and just keep his lame ass out of sight. The music from Toe Jam and Earl kicks in. His dad runs across the cat again.
This movie takes place in Funkatron.
Yeah. Duffy keeps talking over Dad, and I'm getting serious flashbacks to Love on a Leash, where it's just every little gap in the actual actor's lines, we got to punch up with idiotic just one-liners from the animal.
Stupid cat, and they're not even one-liners. They're like half-liners. Yeah,
it also answers the question that I had about why they even bothered animating the cat's mouth.
Yeah.
Because there's all this internal stuff, so you have to distinguish between when he's talking to you and talking to the characters.
Right.
So Dad goes on inside, and Duffy says that he leaves Duffy out by the pool, and Duffy says, I should follow him, but, there's nothing like a good old cat nap. That's why they call it that,
Thanks, Duffy.
What?
Yeah, I don't...
That's not how... That doesn't make sense. That's why they call it that, because catnap.
Because they're good?
Because they're good.
Yeah.
Fucking movie. Chris shows Franny in and out to the pool where Duffy is, and she asks if that's his cat, and she says that she likes cats, to which Duffy, in the drunken sleazeball that he is, says, "Ooh, cats like you too."
Yeah.
Jesus. How many movies are we going to watch where the animal wants to bang a human being?
Hopefully every one of them.
Why would... He's been a cat his whole life. It's not like Alvin Flang. He's been a cat his whole life. Why would he be attracted to a human?
I don't think he was supposed to seem like he was attracted to her.
Did you hear how he said it?
He said cats like you too. Like,
that isn't how he said it.
That is not how he said it, and you know it.
It was his first time he's reading the line. He doesn't know.
Somewhere between...
Let's give Everett Roberts the benefit of the doubt.
That, even though that line is so short, cats like you too, somewhere in the middle of the delivery of that line, you can actually hear Eric chubbing up when he says it.
He's like, yeah, I'm doing this line lasciviously. It's like, wait, you're a cat.
Okay. So we find out that she's in all honors classes, but she's actually a complete idiot.
But she's not even an idiot, you find out later on. Look, everybody's motivation in this whole movie is to swim in this nasty-ass pool.
This disgusting pool that 1,000 porns have been made in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's covered in black
It's
mold.
not even water. It's not even water in there. That's lube.
No.
That's lube, baby.
Like, I hate to spoil the movie, but that's what this is about. Everybody wants to swim in the pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta get in that pool.
The irony is that the cat could never swim in the pool. He hates water.
He hates water. Well, so does Chris. So they have something in common. And
okay, I guess we're going to talk about the sexuality spectrum again. Because obviously this kid Chris, he couldn't hide his homosexuality.
I'm going to touch on this later.
Okay.
Because there's a turn of events that I thought they were going to go in this direction.
Oh, yeah, me too. But like, you can tell.
It was that obvious to everybody else too?
Oh God, yes. But like, okay, you're an actor, so you're supposed to leave yourself and, you know, be molded by whatever the character you're playing, you know. But no, he's just a gay kid, but he's not playing a gay kid, so he's not a good actor, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say.
Roundabout way of saying.
Yeah. Like, he couldn't feign interest in this girl any less. I mean, you could tell he's like not into chicks.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think we're speculating.
Speculating?
He's probably just not a good actor.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Although you could tell she was into him, though.
Well, yeah, because she can act.
She's just doing it.
Of course. He's got that pool.
Yeah.
That's the end game here.
Yeah. It's like, man, if I get him to make out with me, I can swim in this pool all the time.
I could come home with all kinds of infections.
Yeah. Went swimming in a pool, got pregnant.
So, again, jarring music through this whole scene. This girl is just the best role model for all girls to look up to. She's just terrible and an idiot and no ambition or drive or anything. She's just there to pool it up with Chris.
Right.
Do you think maybe it was all a ruse to get closer to Chris?
To get in that pool? She didn't know he had a pool when she showed
to
up.
Get into the pool.
I don't know. This whole thing's confusing.
Yeah. Chris retreats inside while Franny has a chat with Duffy about how bad did that talk go with Chris. I keep waiting.
He just abandoned her outside at his house.
Yeah.
Well, he got so flustered, he just go-go-go-goy, and he ran inside. At this point, I just keep waiting, like, isn't this cat supposed to actually talk to people? Because he's taking his sweet time. He's just letting all the pieces get in order.
He's assessing the situation.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that they would like come back days later and she would still be in the backyard because nobody showed her out.
I don't know how to get out of your house.
Cut to the Bahamas, apparently. Where does this movie take place? Because at first we were up in the temperate mountains.
Now we are not.
Yeah, it's got like waterfalls and...
So, Dad is already bored with his retirement. Duffy's in the room with him and meows, and it freaks the fuck out of Dad. This totally random chain of events. A cat meowing? Someone get the news.
Jesus Christ.
He jumps up. Whoa, that was random.
God, this fucking movie.
He gets Dad to feed him, and we're treated to the sound of Eric Roberts miming lapping up milk from a sauce. Something I never knew that I would ever have to listen to, but somehow I knew I would hate it intensely.
They paid Eric Roberts to say, like, nom, nom, nom.
Which is probably how he sounds when he eats every meal.
That's how he sounds when he's drinking.
About to say, they probably just slid a plate of pudding underneath his already like knocked out face.
No, they slid him a baby bottle of bourbon. He just
This is the only stuff where he sounded like he was like had a pulse. Him saying nom 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 nom.
It sounds like he was depressed through the whole thing, though.
Oh, wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
This is where your fucking career has gotten
We can
you?
only hope that, like, every time right before they turned on the recorder, they're like, so how's your sister doing?
Yeah.
It's a good way to get yourself murdered.
So Chris and Dad argue about whether or not to keep Duffy, and Duffy slips out while they're distracted. Back at Tina's, Mom is trying to get her good-for-nothing kids to go get some internships with her clients. Tina and her brother bicker around some more, and I hate this fucking family. Duffy hates machines. There you go. Let's just throw that in there. He hates these beeping machines that people are so involved with. He's Amish at heart.
Yeah.
What these kids need is a good old-fashioned barn raising.
So Mom follows Trent outside where he's fixing a fence and asks him if, do you really think that you have nothing to offer the world, Trent? He says, no, I really don't think I do. And she says, good.
No, I think he said, no, he doesn't really think that.
Is that what it was meant? Because it didn't come across that way to me.
I know.
But I guess you're right. That does make more sense.
Yeah.
Because the mom wasn't like mean, like a mean mom. She was just.
No.
But she said contradicting, confusing things before though. So I thought this was
true.
part of her character.
I don't know.
So she starts talking about this toy. This toy company is the lifeblood of this town or something. Like the brake pad thing in Tommy Boy, like the whole town revolves around this toy company. Yeah, but you would figure
this is like Silicon Valley. Is like kind of like what I was thinking. I mean, the dude's got the soul patch and everything. I mean,
yeah.
So I thought that's where this was taking place. So I was confused when this whole toy company thing came up, and how I guess it's the only place you can work.
Yeah, he retired from Silicon Valley out to Plastic Valley. So, we didn't get one side of a teenage girl's phone call, and it's just as stimulating as you'd think it is. She says, I know, like 15 times, just in a row, and that's the whole thing. And we just have to suffer through it.
Well, that's what you do. I hearken back to the days when I talked on the phone with teenage girls as I was a teenager. And you sat there and you just say, yeah, I know.
Could they not give the other side of the conversation on the phone?
I don't know why they feel the need to keep it a secret that Franny and Tina are friends.
Yeah, like it's going to be some big payoff in the end.
I was actually confused. Like, I thought they were the same person for a good chunk of this fucking movie.
And they're both like white brunette girls.
And then I was like, wait, are they using a different actress? What happened here? And then I realized, oh, there's two different people. I'm an idiot.
And they're in the they're in the same scene together, and it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think it was, I forget what part it was when I realized that they wasn't the same person, but anyway.
So, finally, the goddamn cat talks to a human, and he tells Tina to go read your machine.
And she's like, hold on, you're a talking cat.
She doesn't even say that.
Fucking machine.
Wait. She's not as shocked by the fact that he's talking to her as much as that he's a cat. Because she goes, hey, you're a cat.
Also, every time he actually speaks to a human, he makes it a point to say, I can only do this once, so it's very important. Well, if you can only do it once, how about you not be so fucking vague?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have a spiel down. You gotta be listen up.
Also, how many times has he had to give that explanation? Every conversation with the human he's had to open with, okay, let's look, I can only talk to people, but I can only talk to them once, so here's some vague fucking thing for you to do.
Look at your machine. How about look at your machine and let me tell you the reasons why. And here's what you should be looking for, because the internet's a big fucking place, lady.
Also, are we to understand that somehow the cat pulled up this website?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, fuck it. Who cares?
I don't understand the workings of this magic cat.
I think we can zoom past these plot holes and all to other ones.
Yeah. So Duffy says he can only speak to a person once. Those are the rules. Who set these rules? I don't know. God,
I guess.
We'll never know.
So it's really important that he listens to her and checks her email. Tina calls out for her mom, who walks into the room and is like, hey, that's a cat! I swear to God, if one more person is shocked and awed at the existence of a cat one more goddamn time. She tells her mom that the cat was talking to her, and mom's all like, why is there a cat in here?
You are missing the important part, Mom.
Just ignores her daughter's pleas because she's terrible. And she's just like, she can't break contact with this cat. She's just staring it down, just in awe. There's a cat. Cats exist. Tina goes out and blames her brother for making the cat talk because he's a sorcerer of some sort.
Like, I think she thought it was like a prank or something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, their entire argument and Trent's entire, like, arc in this movie is about him, like, not having an imagination.
Well, he's kind of dense, so...
Sure, but, like, how does Tina think Trent pulled off the old talking cat gag?
Yeah, you got imagination to do that.
She's got no basis for calling him, like, a useless moron now, if she actually believes that.
I think she actually even says that it's because he doesn't have a good imagination is why he came up with the talking cat.
Like, what?
I
think she was saying that directly to the director. Like, it just, you know.
They just happened to film it.
Yeah.
We'll use that. So she goes inside, but Duffy's gone. Mom's mad because Tina offended the cat, and it excused itself. Tina goes upstairs and checks her email, and she finds an article on CodeMonkeyTimes.com that Chris's dad, Phil Barber, made a lucrative sale to Globe Tech to retire early. And this means what to Tina? Who the fuck knows? And
also, who's saying this guy's retiring early?
Oh, yeah, I found out how old he actually is. Do you have any guesses?
Let me guess. 32.
How old?
He's actually 54.
That's
seems young to me.
Seems young for retiring.
No, but he's got some city miles on him then.
And I just have to say, as a designer, this article / website / whatever the hell was making my eyes bleed.
That was awful. So bad.
Copperplate font, god awful paragraph. The formatting of the paragraphs. I digress.
Did you see this part at the very bottom of the article where I don't even know what it was. It's nonsense.
The whole thing was nonsense.
Well, I mean, the article was about, like, you know, coding pioneer, this motherfucker, like, retired. But then at the bottom, it's like...
It was just words.
It just started saying
traffic
shit.
logs by working rejected spots, assuring product separation, and other possible log variances. Yeah. What?
That was like the word pool for like buzzwords they were going to use that they were copy and pasting in. They just forgot to not show it on screen.
They also forgot to not show that this wasn't in a browser. It was just in like preview or something.
Oh, Lord. So Tina's absorbing all of this information with the intensity that she just found a clue to who murdered her family. Cut to the Appalachian Mountains a few feet away. Mom's whipping up a batch of cheese puffs for a Humphrey Bogart marathon.
Hell yeah.
Full of daring do and whatnot. And
fucking cheese puffs.
And it runs her son right out of the house. Cut to Phil watching the very same Bogart movie marathon that old Mom's watching. They have something in common. Better get on that, Duffy. He asks Duffy what he's going to do with his time, and Duffy speaks to him and tells him, why don't you go take a walk in the woods? And Phil agrees and goes on to talk about how he was thinking about taking the trails and what? Is that a cat? He once again explains that he can only talk to people once. Every time he speaks to someone, he wastes his magical cat breath on explaining this every time. He tells Phil he needs to take a walk into the woods and then go talk in the woods. And that's it. Phil gets up and goes and brings Chris into the room to see Duffy, but Duffy won't talk anymore. Cut to the next morning. Phil goes out for a walk, but not because Duffy told him to, but because he thought of it all by himself like a big boy. He walks out into the woods of the Appalachians, which is across the street from Miami where they live. Meanwhile, in Tina's house, they're all still horrible people. Trent heads outside, and here comes Duffy. He starts talking to Trent about where his magic collar is buried out beneath some magic trees out in the woods that gives him the power to help people. And then Trent's all like, "Are you a cat?"
What do you want?
He convinces Trent that he's got an imagination because he's talking to a cat.
Oh, God.
So Phil is in the middle of his...
the cat's actually talking to him. It's not his imagination. What the fuck, man?
So Phil's in the middle of his death march while La Cucaracha plays for some ungoddamn known reason.
Because it was free.
Yeah. He stumbles upon Tina's house, and the sparks fly between him and Susan, the mom. She introduces herself and invites him in for some water. And they talk about how Chris's mom left them and how Susan immaculately conceived twice. And he says that he doesn't like his house because it was decorated by someone else. And Susan says that, well, you should make it your own. He says that, oh, I have no sense of taste. Look at me, I look like something the cat dragged in. That's why they call it that, you know.
By the way, the designer of his house was John DeLuca.
Oh.
What, you don't find Driftwood sexy? I'm the only one that finds Driftwood sexy.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't understand this world anymore.
So Duffy reveals his ability to get old people to bang. He's very proud of himself here. Cut to the Cayman Islands, where Chris does his homework when Dad comes in. They both agree that girls are weird, and Phil goes to take a shower. Franny shows up, and she's still an idiot.
They're also kind of cool.
Yeah. Franny shows up. She's still kind of an idiot. All she wants is the goddamn pool.
Knock, knock. Give me that pool, Chris. She's just push him down and go in the pool.
Yeah. So she starts holding hands with Chris, basically telling him to do her and he just does not know what she's getting at. If only someone could help. Cue Duffy. Duffy comes in. He tells Chris that he and his dad have a talking cat in common. So there you go. And completely repairs their relationship. You both talk to a cat. Get along now.
That's all it takes.
He asks Duffy if he thinks that Franny likes him. So Duffy shoots him in the face for being a complete fucking moron.
Duffy saved an entire world of an audience that day.
Yeah. Cut to Tina's house, where blasting a set with blacklight equals nighttime.
Oh my god, this is some of the worst day for night I've ever seen.
It's just it's the regular living room, just bathed in violet light, and the windows wide open in the background that looks like a nuclear bomb's going off outside.
I was expecting a mechanical owl to fly in at any moment.
So, Mom has a hook on a new job that could lead to a bigger house, and Duffy shows up, and Tina takes him to her room, and she says that he says that he needs to get talk to Susan, and she's the last person that he has to speak to align his master plan, that is who the fuck knows what. Cut to Phil, who has Tina's computer now. He just have the one computer, and I can tell it's the same computer because it's got a big strip of duct tape covering up the HP logo on the back.
You would be wrong.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. So he's now on the phone with his broker or somebody, talking to them about investing in the local toy company. So at this point, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see how this all neatly and coherently ties together in the end. It's all weaving together. A few feet away in the hills of Southern California, Mom comes home from a long day of work. Tina's finishing up the cheese puffs, and Susan loads them up in a tray and takes them out to the car. Phil's making his way across the bridge over to their house when he's almost mowed down by a rogue car just driving too fast through the neighborhood. She takes him inside for another glass of water. Tina comes in, and then there's Duffy, and he's a cat, and it's just too much for Phil to handle, and he knocks the cheese puffs to the ground.
Okay, hold on. So Susan's pulled a tray of cheese puffs out of the oven without gloves on.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, for some reason, Phil goes to grab that same pan from her hands and then burns his hands and drops them on the ground. That's just a classic IMDb goof right there.
Go fill it out, John.
I think it's already caps. In there.
Those hands been counting money their whole lives.
And then the tray hits the ground with a sound effect that suggests that it like knocked out a kung fu villain down there. It's like, what?
Good Lord. Yeah, Jesus Christ. If you go to the IMDb goofs and gaffs, the top one is just, this movie exists.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have.
So, Tina recognizes Phil and wants to bend his ear about coding and junk and stuff. Susan begs Phil to just leave because she needs Tina to make another batch of cheese puffs. Cut to the forest moon of Endor, where Phil treks back home. Tina runs him down in the woods to talk and follows him back to his house after Susan told her, you're not going to some stranger's house. She goes in.
Okay, yeah, because they had to make more cheese puffs, and Susan's kitchen is not in any way suitable for running a catering business. She's got one oven. It's a regular house kitchen.
Yeah.
So Phil suggested
it doesn't even have two racks in it. It's just one rack in the oven.
Right.
And she seems to be bringing over one tray at a time.
She makes it, drives it over.
Because she's coming back and forth to the house constantly. Like, the event is ongoing, and she comes and goes like 4 times throughout the day.
So Phil suggests that they could go to his house because he's got 2 ovens.
Yeah. He thinks.
We're rolling the dice. We might just be in the same situation over there. Who knows?
Well, the whole thing's just bonkers because, a girl knowing how to code. It's been a while since we chased away some of our audience. I think
we're gonna shoo some of them off.
So Susan sees that Tina's gone, so she sends Trent to find Tina, and she's got a good feeling she's at Phil's house. Tina's making the cheese puffs over at Phil's and tells him that she's there with her mom's permission, so don't worry about anything. And then she gives him this strange device called a thumb drive.
And then Chris Hansen rounds the corner and says, "So what are you doing here?"
She feels the need to point out to Phil, who's this coding genius, what a thumb drive is. And she tells him that it's loaded with all the algorithms and variables that a nerd could desire. So Trent shows up as Chris is trembling in the pool. Here we go.
So this is where I thought, okay, this is where the love story is going to start.
Yeah. Chris is going to have his awakening.
The cat's going to bring these two boys together.
Exactly.
The director's finally back in his comfort zone. Two guys out by the pool. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm not even making a joke. I really thought that the cat was going to tell him, yes, this is the relationship you should be in. Because I thought they were actually trying to show that he wasn't interested in the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I was wrong. Very wrong.
Nope.
So this is, and this is the point too, where every problem that we feel like that they've set up that these characters have, like Chris has trouble talking to girls.
Yeah.
And Trent is an idiot. These aren't the real problems with the characters. It turns out that Chris's real issue is that he can't fucking swim, and he's
Yep.
embarrassed by this fact.
He's embarrassed he can't swim, and he doesn't want to be outed as a non-swimmer to Franny.
And then the resolution.
I felt kind of good because I didn't feel like an idiot watching these movies anymore, because then I was like, oh, I actually thought of something that a movie should have in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the twist you said would have been an interesting thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
A whole lot better than what happened.
Then, I can't swim. Duh. So,
he's had a pool in his backyard for 17 years. How do you not learn to swim? You fucking loser.
Because the pool's filthy.
Well, fair enough.
Nobody wants to swim in that.
It's not full of jizz in the world that they're in. It's in the real world it is, but not in the world of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, not in Funkatron.
Yeah. So here comes Chris, and all he can think of is jumping on in. He's so happy.
He's
staring
licking
at
his fucking
pool.
lips. He can't wait to get in that pool.
So this is where I came to all those conclusions that Blake had. Chris is going to realize that the reason he couldn't talk to Franny is because he's actually into Trent, and it all makes sense. Nah. Chris asks Trent if he can teach him to swim, and Duffy's all according to plan. Fuck you, cat.
I'm still thinking there was hope at that point.
So Phil is really impressed by Tina's algorithms and cheese puffs when Susan arrives. Everyone's in deep trouble, and Duffy realizes, oh shit, I forgot to kill Susan! Phil tries to salvage the situation, but fails miserably. Duffy heads out so he can go talk to Susan and fix the whole situation. I know if I can just talk to Susan, I can fix all of this, because his plan's gone askew.
His plan? He didn't do anything. He told a fat man to take a walk and screwed around on an underage girl's computer.
Yeah. and told an idiot that he has an imagination.
Then again, if a cat was going to execute a plan, this is how you do it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, it turns out Tina's algorithm is an outfit generator for sloppy dudes. How handy. They proceed,
I know two sloppy dudes.
They proceed to scan all their clothes with a reading lamp because they're crazy.
I I have so many problems with this. Like, what are they supposed to be scanning? Like, clothes don't have barcodes on them.
They're scanning the washing instructions on the tags.
Right.
Did Tina create a database of every article of clothing ever produced?
Yep. Clearly.
I don't know.
And for some reason, what bothered me about this was the fact that he said scanned after every time he did it. It's like, okay, if that was a scanner worth its salt, it would beep into just upload the data like it was supposed to. You wouldn't have to keep saying scanned.
They cut right before the part where Chris was like, "Dad, shut up."
Yeah. Oh, and also, could I also just say, this scene is easily longer than the entire movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it is really long. We literally have to watch them scan all of Chris's clothing.
Oh, and also, the slide whistles and clown horns in the background didn't help anything at all.
God. The music was the worst.
Music by Sideshow Bob in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So they clean themselves up, and then Franny shows up. Chris invites her out to the pool. Meanwhile, Duffy's on his way to Susan's house when that speeding car shows up again. Yes, splat!
Got him.
Cut to Pirates of the Caribbean 8. Phil brings some lemonade out to Franny and Chris, and then Franny gets a phone call. It's Tina telling her that Duffy was hit by a car. Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
So they rush over to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, where the vet has arrived and is making Duffy comfortable. And by comfortable, I mean wrapping its head with cheesecloth once.
Oh my god, this is the best part of the movie.
You were right, Blake. Before we started recording, we were trying to guess what the part that John earlier said that made him genuinely laugh was, and we guessed it right.
Yeah.
Come on. It's the best.
It wasn't intentional.
I was dying.
It wasn't intentional, though. This is the most serious part of the movie.
It's a cat with a bandage wrapped around his head, but as soon as you see the cat, he's like, oh.
But its tail is
Robert's going like, ow.
Its tail's like flicking back and forth. The cat's clearly happy.
It's so good, you guys. Like, so it's like all this build up. They're like, oh my god, Duffy's been hit by a car, and they all gathering outside, and they're like, it's not looking good. The vets made him comfortable, but
I expected him to be like torn in half or something.
Yeah, exactly. There should be a single visible injury, and then
he's got a headache.
To him, and he's just sitting there. It's just a regular pissed off looking cat with some gauze on his head. And you can tell, like, it wouldn't sit still for them to put the gauze on, like, the right way.
They just kind of threw it at it.
Come on.
This cat is so unprofessional.
That's so good. The cat's supposed to be scratching at death's door. And it's just chilling. Oh, so good.
Good Lord. So Susan then said, oh, it's like the cat spoke to all of us. And they all had this realization that Duffy is magic. Fuck this movie.
Except for the mom. She thinks they're all crazy.
So they all come to the conclusion that they need to go dig up Duffy's collar, which is his Horcrux or some shit, to save him. So they abscond off to the gardens of Lothlorien to dig it up. They arrive in pairs to find the collar just out in the open on a rock. That's not the collar. He clearly said it was buried.
In another movie.
He clearly said it was buried. And this collar looks more like a strand of hair snaked out of a drain somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It's disgusting looking. They pick it up. They go back with the what I'm assuming is the wrong collar because it wasn't buried anywhere. Duffy dies a painful, yowling death. Phil loses his mind and murder-suicides the lot of them. The seventh seal opens up and the world's consumed in fire and brimstone and the credits roll. That's it. Movie over. For real. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care how it's supposed to end.
Movie got dark.
This movie can't even respect its own dumbass rules. So Phil puts the collar on Duffy, and it magics all over their faces. It's this little spurt of magic on them.
There's a part where Phil, wearing a plaid shirt, reaches down out of frame to put the collar on, and then when he reaches into frame in the next shot, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Magic.
Just
another classic IMDb goof right there.
I like that the plaid shirt that he was wearing was like 2 sizes too small, so you can see his stomach, like it was stretching in between the buttons.
Yeah,
that's what happens. He bent down to pantomime the collar, and he popped all the buttons off of it.
Yeah.
So what? Can't just be standing. So the magic happens, and then Susan asks, "What happened?" And then Phil clears everything up by saying, "We did something." Cut to First Blood Part 2, where Duffy gives us the Animal House wrap-up of all the characters. Susan got the contract with the toy company after all, because some random investor appeared out of nowhere and gave her the money. I think his name was DX Machina or something like that. Susan fell in love with Phil. Tina's outfit generator was a big hit. As for the others, they're also still trying to figure out who they are, but they're doing it the cat way. Curiosity, experimenting, exploring each other's bodies, napping.
Nice.
Duffy decided then to deprive the world of his magical powers and just stay with this idiot family for the rest of his life.
Good.
We then get a much more terrible version of the Predators closing credits, going from character to character, highlighting their most unflattering scenes and angles. Special credit to Squeaky.
Again.
Squeaky. The credits continue to roll, and there's some random shots of the cat set to the reggae cover of that classic rock song, The Itsy Bitsy Fucking Spider.
I didn't make it that far.
It's a reggae version of Itsy Bitsy Spider.
They were almost 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I wasn't watching it. I said, fuck it, I'm out.
We got all this extra footage of the cat. We got to use it. It's in the contract. Motherfucker.
Amazing.
Oh, Christ almighty. New rule, no more talking animal movies.
No.
I don't want to do it anymore.
If a special one shows up, I'm not going to be hampered by these rules.
I'm with you. We shouldn't have any rules.
No, God, no. Rules are in place for a very good reason. It's called you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's get the quiz out of the way because it's going to be bad.
Yep, let's do this shit.
Okay.
Lord almighty, here we go.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what was on the license plate on the half beetle that was in the living room?
Oh, God damn it.
What was the name of the teacher whose class Chris was in?
Points. John's taking off with this thing. I need points.
Yeah. What is Phil and Chris's house number?
Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. God damn it. I quit.
We know.
Phil tells Susan that Chris is 17, going on what?
I gotta guess at that one.
Me too.
That was 4, right?
Yes.
And finally, let's see. I'll go with an easy one. What color are the pillows on Tina's couch?
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's an easy one.
How many times is she just sitting on the couch in this movie?
Well, I have 0.
I got 2. I guess that's something.
All right.
That'll put me tied with you if you actually got 0. All right, let's go.
All right. What's on the license plate?
Meow.
VW Bug.
It just said ha ha ha.
Son of a bitch.
What was the name of the teacher?
Mr. Meow.
Mr. Garvey.
Mr. Garvey is correct. What is Phil's house number?
1735.
817.
817 is correct. Phil tells Susan that Chris is 17 going on what?
63.
62?
Oh, 67. Both so close.
I knew it was in the 60s.
Me too.
And what color are the pillows on Tina's couch?
Hail Mary time, Blake.
Huh?
I said Hail Mary time, Blake.
Yeah, green.
Blue.
They were green.
I love it.
All right. New standings. John still in first with 5. Blake in a close second with 4. And I'm pulling up behind with 3. Anybody's game.
Anybody's game. All right, I'm still ready to play.
Still pathetic that those are the numbers halfway through the season.
I kind of like that, though. Like, it's challenging.
Like, typically we're in double digits by now.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Is it just like we're sick of it?
I think we're just beaten down.
We don't give a fuck anymore.
We can't pay attention to this shit anymore. Oh, Lord. Okay, so moving on. Coming attractions time. It's Blake's pick, or is it?
Wow.
Let's see what happens.
I gotta say, like, I'm kind of loving this. There's like a part of me that I kind of feel like the Joker in The Dark Knight, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
I just like want to watch it burn, you know?
Yeah.
Just like there's a part of me that never wants to use it. Just like it's hanging over the entire time.
And look, like, I'm convinced that it's getting taken from me. Like, I'm convinced that it's this time right now. So I just had to pick the movie that I'd be okay with losing. So what I'm picking is Night of the Were-Rooster.
Oh, Lord, I saw this one on the queue.
It's got a 4 out of 10 on IMDb. It has no tomato meter. It has the longest and stupidest tagline to a movie I've seen. Something is killing people in the woods. Something covered in feathers. It's 90 minutes. Has a budget of $600.
Whoa!
Right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. Reviews. One of the reviews I wrote it down just because, you know, for John. It was a guide to basically what you will see in the movie. It says back nudity / implied topless. And then implied sex. Figure, you know, that's John's guide that he would need.
Yeah. Does it have nudity.com?
Another review is this film's production values are rock bottom. And the third review, come on, it's a were-rooster. One bit of
review by Blake Otan.
Yeah. One bit of trivia / just horrible facts. Clayton Trout, who plays Stan's dad, actually fell from a cliff while rehearsing a fall from a cliff. Needed surgery and almost died from a puncture wound. A few weeks later, came back and shot all his scenes.
This movie almost killed a man.
Yes.
He was practicing to fall down a cliff, but actually fell down the cliff.
Yeah.
Did they use the actual fall in the movie?
That's what I'm hoping. We're going to see. But are we even watching it?
Well, we gotta honor this man's sacrifice.
Oh, God.
Right?
I'm just waiting for the sound effect
I'm
to
waiting
kick
for
in.
something to happen.
No, we'll watch that one.
Okay.
God Damn it.
I'm sitting here like squinting my eyes at the computer, like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?
John, I'm just gonna say this again. His last pick, you were saying, God, I should have used it.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Good. Hopefully you use it on chases. That way I'm free and I can. Because the one I really want to watch, boy howdy.
Well, now we just know that there's one you really want to watch coming.
Yeah. I'll wait till next season to make sure.
God damn it. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody that's been listening. If you can drop us a review on iTunes, we very much appreciate that. You can find us online at facebook.com/garbage theater, on Instagram at garbage_theater. If there's a movie that you want to throw out at us to watch, please don't let it have a talking animal in it. And send it to us on any of our social media channels, or you can send it to us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. We will watch it. The things we do for our fans.
Yeah.
Good. I think Eric Roberts is becoming like an honorary patron saint of Garbage Theater.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a weapon, but he's there.
Yeah.
He's in the background somewhere.
Anytime funds are misappropriated, you'll find Eric Roberts.
I mean, come on. As soon as I heard Eric Roberts as a talking cat, it was done. It was done.
Has his latest movie, Homie Alone, come out yet?
Oh, man. I'll have to check on that.
Yeah.
That'll be something.
Well, they changed the name now. Shit. Oh, he's a Beverly Hills Bandits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks like it came out in 2018. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that.
We'll have to watch. We'll have to see if we can find it. So, but in the meantime, we'll be watching Were Rooster.
Night of the Were Rooster.
Night of the Were. Oh, excuse me.
Jesus.
I want you to watch the wrong movie.
Yeah.
So, tune in next time when we watch Night of the Were Rooster. Yeah, I don't. I'm not even going to solicit closing statements on this movie. We're just done.
Yes,
so,
done.
See you next time, folks. Bye. Bye. Bye.